Hey, welcome to. I got you there, right? I got you there. So, this is Samuel Lion. This is the Samuel Lion Show. And I'm so elated to bring this show on to the networks that will be having it going forward. So, this is going to be part of the Sports Jedi Network as part of the Hill of the Ring podcast, still bringing in the wrestling content. So the Samuel Lion show would change going forward because we collaborate. We'll be bringing merging the Good Morning Wrestling and the Samuel Lion show together, making it a full blown great content for you here on the Hill of the Ring podcast and as part of the Sports Jedi Network. And we are looking really at it to be being one of the best things I can possibly do for the YouTube channel and going forward and bringing in these ideas together and trying to make something worthwhile for your entertainment. So the Samuel Lion Show, you come for the story, you stay for the fun. And I'm so elated. Shout out to Sir Chris and Sir Kev and Chris for the great job they've been doing with the Sports Jedi Network. I'm really pumped to be a part of this network and bringing in the show that has been a month in the making and trying to bring in content. As you can see, I'm spotting on the FLIXWAY. I'm spotting on the FLIXWAY hat, and I'm so grateful for everything that we have going on. And thank you for if you're seeing this for the first time. So try to bring this to episodic two episodic shows right to this channel for you and get this done. And right now we'll get right into things. It's been a whole lot, and as you can see, we'll have a lot to get into. And since the Samuel Lion show, we have guests that will be coming in on the show. We'll have pro wrestling fans, gamers, and everything. So for today, we'll have guests coming in, and going forward might just be the face that you get to see. So bringing in on the show right now, and he's Call of Duty fans, a COD gamer, lifer and all. And I'm so glad to have him join us. So it's been a great one, actually being a part of the network and bringing on shows that can be available to pro wrestling fans, sports fans, gamers, entertainment fans and all. And the Sports Jedi Network and I looking into it to bringing this on. So joining the Samuel Lion show for the very first time as a guest, and hopefully the face that you get to see. Please make welcome Jonah. Jonah, how you doing? Welcome to the show. What's up?
Hello, hi. Thanks for having me. I'm good.
It's been an incredible time, getting to have you be a part of the show. And I just wanted to ask you right off the bat, how you feeling being a part of the Samuel Lion show? What's your expectation coming in here? And also, like, how is the general feeling, actually knowing how this was coming together, and we're trying to see how we can put this together? What's like your take on the entire journey, the experience, and what you are expecting going forward?
Well, I'm excited. Let's start with I'm excited to be part of the show, and I look forward to seeing great things and being part of great things, and hoping that we would shed more light into what we do, make it a great have fun while at it. That's the
Cover
expectation.
yeah, the show says, come for the stories, stay for the fun. And I couldn't obviously, since this is a sports channel, and also would have to talk about a whole lot and all. So I know about WWE doing UI Gamer. I had introduced that at the top of the show, that UI Gamer, and obviously a huge fan of COD. You do that all day. Yeah, but he's a huge gaming fan and a COD fan. to talk to the COD people. I know there are most times that I'm a fan of wrestling and a pro wrestling lifer, and then games will be announced, and then you see collaboration being done, and you see the world of that, the world where WWE is trying to collaborate with, or maybe wrestling trying to like, why are they coming into that one? What, all this crazy shit and all of that. Like, what has been like the whole rave with WWE going into partnership with Call of Duty? We saw during the what's the show? The show we just finished this weekend. Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel. They sponsored one of the matches, and they're part of one of the sponsored people. Like, what can you tell us about the sponsorship and how, like, your own take, them being part of the whole franchise, the Call of Duty franchise? If you can spread more light on that.
Well, it was posted on a tweet on X about the collaboration with WWE. We never knew any character that was going to be released. We just thought it would be like a WWE, and then they will bring in every character from WWE into the game. Not knowing it was just two main players, Undertaker and I've forgotten the other lady, but she's not really, fond of by everyone. Everyone doesn't really, use her. But what my take on it is that Call of Duty is trying to, travel, go around, spread their information so that it's at the end of the day, it's all just business. Collaboration is business. They are making business, make their money off of it and good. But it's actually a cool collaboration. People love it. People may spend money on the skins, and it's good. They both get their wins. And the fact that they had to bring in the sponsors, they had to bring it in during the Crown Jewels, the big match in Australia, was crazy. It was really crazy.
All right. If we were to expand on that, because I'm not like a big gamer, but obviously we've had our own fair share of games back then, and I don't want to go into the rabbit hole of it all. But in the aspect of let's say reviews, was it more of a letdown that when they're collaborating with WWE? Like you said, there was kind of like an expectation there, like, is there going to be like the entire roster, like the entire legacy, or the entire? So at this point, it's just like they just did, I believe, 3 characters. Rhea Ripley was part of the only female character there. We have the Undertaker. I don't know if Rey Mysterio was part of that one, or maybe it's another game that he is like a package. So what's like the whole thing having to see that they just picked 2 characters? We can agree, arguably legendary characters, bringing just 2 characters in. Is it more of like, there's a letdown, we need more, we need to see like that's Roman Reigns and then the John Cena's, or do you think it's kind of like a money deal, like, okay, maybe the money they did not get to match the money they would need to get like more, so they just went to what's your take on the entire thing?
Well, them bringing in only 2 characters, it says a lot. It says a lot, because it's no more for the fun of it. It's no more like just normal collaboration. It's so that they can get their gain. If they bring in the whole roster, people won't really, spend that much money, because if bringing the whole roster means that they'll bring it for free to play players. So bringing just 2 characters, giving them their own legendary guns, giving them their own execution, giving them everything like dedicated to those 2 players, is just being going after the money aspect. They are trying to get gain out of it, putting in the money already to create the characters. They need their own gain, they need their profit. They can't just waste money producing for everybody, But actually, for the gaming community, we actually expected something like, like Roman Reigns to be part of it. But it wasn't actually a letdown. It was okay. They brought the Undertaker, so that was nice.
All right. It's is it, sometimes you hear insults, and sorry if you are joining, this is the Samuel Lion Show as part of the Hill of the Ring podcast here on Sports Jedi Network. Obviously merging with the Good Morning Wrestling show that I do here as on this channel. We have Jonah Games on here with us on the show today. So Jonah, one of the things I'm trying to get, because we get these people throw insults, and if they know that you are gaming, so it's more or less you are useless, or you don't have what to do, you are like, it's kind of like there's a big there's insult when it comes to like the negativity when it comes to when you are like really showing that pushing that this and that you are a gamer. There's kind of like useless and all of that. But what do you have to say about the whole thing? Because I feel like there's been a huge market when it comes to games, because we see gaming conference being done in Japan, in Los Angeles. Like, it's kind of like who is who in the industry of not just gaming, like every other celebrities are joining in. We have streaming now, people are streaming games up and down, people are streaming, doing tournaments. Like, it's just, there's a market there. And hearing you talk about a deal being made with Call of Duty with WWE, and they went to bring in just 2 characters, and I'm like, if I'm a gamer, I would from the outside looking, I'm like, as a gamer, wouldn't they be disappointed? So hearing you say it would be as if they got it for free, so they need to make you work hard. So like, tell me more about like how you and anybody in the community manage negativity when it comes to, oh, you're a gamer, oh, you are, and tell us like the money that is in this industry, as because I feel like there's money, there's business. Hearing you talk about the business side of things is like kind of like nobody really think about it when they talk about gaming and all. Because I might not be in the world, but I know that there's definitely will be money, because people get to release they get to release games annually, get to change things and everything. People spend money to buy these things. I mean, PS5, for God's sake, is in millions here in Nigeria and all of that. So like, I mean, it can't be just fun and games when it comes to gaming at the point. So like, how can you really put this in perspective for me?
Okay. First of all, gamers are mostly introverts. So as an introvert, you don't get to expose yourself outside like as frequent as many others would, many extroverts would. So what can you do to make yourself happy? What you do in your comfort zone, you have to make your comfort zone comfortable enough for you to live in. So that's why when people give negativity on the gaming community, it's just they haven't experienced what we experienced. This is our second home from the outside the world. When we play game, and when we play game, we win the game, we are celebrated. Not something that happens in the real world. So we take that little celebration as a big deal. No, the money can't buy that kind of celebration. So now, in the monetary aspects, the gains and all of that, gamers, so most people, before you make it big, you have your job, you can use your job, your income from your job, make yourself comfortable, you can save up, buy whatever you need. And then maybe if you're going into the social media aspect, you can start streaming, post your videos on YouTube, TikTok, eventually get monetized, and then you get paid through that aspect. But as from the negativity, I don't really, if they tell me I'm a gamer, I'm not the only gamer. Like, more than 1 million gamers on earth. So I just don't pay attention to it. It doesn't affect my life. Everybody's entitled to an opinion, that's theirs, so let's keep it that way.
Is this like a general mindset for you? Because you really tend to speak like someone that has it guarded, and for a young person like you to have this, in the age where we live now, where we are rampantly in words do matter. People do get depressed from words being said to them and everything, and to see how you are handling this is something that, for me, looking in, and like, I mean, that's dope. So I really get to comment that, So yeah, that's cool. So back to the business of the day. We came in here. I was like, I'll get to have you come in here and do commentary on some of the stories and topics we have here in. So Sport Jedi Network, there's a whole lot of content from pro wrestling to MMA to UFC to NFL, NBA. Everything is on that network. Is on the network, and Sir Kev and Chris get to do one of the best jobs, interview pro wrestlers and doing great wrestling shows, and weekly wrestling live stream happen on the channel too. People get to join them, be a part of the community, and all join the community and be part of the movement. So what I get to do here on the Samuel Lion Show, merging it with the Good Morning Wrestling Show, is something very different. I get to talk about wrestling, but in a different way. We get to look at the topics and get to break it down. And having Jonah here from the gaming world, not really, obviously had pro wrestling as a kid, what as a kid and everything, but not really dabbling in the world. But he's getting to do that going forward here for us on the Samuel Lion Show. So we'll get to have some key his perspective on some of the shows he's able to check out and have that done for us here. Obviously, we'll be having guests rolling here going forward from the next couple of episodes coming in. So Jenna, you got back into the wrestling scene with me pulling you in. What was your take and everything from like some of the shows you've been able to catch up with? I know one, Crown Jewel, where we'll be able to get into like, what's your take on like the whole thing again? You see new things, like new characters, like who the fuck is this? Sorry for that language, but it's just like a whole lot of characters that you get to catch up with. What's the story here, which we'll be getting to do going forward, and we'll have more shows you need to check out for real. Today we got to check out the interview with Darby Allin, a wrestler from All Elite Wrestling from the Ariel Awani show, and you got to ask questions, and we'll get into that too. But for you, basically, getting back into the world of pro wrestling again, and saying, "Oh, okay, so it has really changed from the last time I catch it." So when was the last time you watched pro wrestling? How did you even dabble into wrestling, and what's your take coming in now, like trying to see how you can get your foot wet in this industry?
Well, the last time I watched wrestling, I tried watching last night's Monday Night Raw, but I wasn't awake fully to watch, so I skipped. But the last time I watched wrestling, like from beginning to end, was Crown Jewels at Australia. I streamed it with your host Samuel Lion, of course, and it was, normally I'm not a wrestling person, but due to this collaboration that they also had, it also helped pull me into the wrestling world, and I said, why don't give it a try? And I started watching wrestling. I watched how things were, asked a whole lot of questions, and it was fun. Wrestling is fun.